All right, everybody, we are here to read the Equine Whitepaper. So if you scroll down here, we are at the equine.gg/whitepaper2 website. And if you scroll down, you'll see the contents. This is a very long white paper, so I am splitting it up into two different videos. The first one will be legal disclaimer and risks. That is going to keep separated to not make this one too long. This one is going to cover the introduction all the way down to the Equine Pioneer Collection. So we will go over everything with racing, breeding, trading, all of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you all. All right, now here we are at the introduction on the white paper. As the world becomes increasingly digital, blockchain is playing a significant role in driving the next level evolution of our digital lives, especially through NFT, non-fungible tokens, technology, which gives people the ability to truly own digital assets and use them in ways which were not possible before. Horse racing is often called the sport of kings and is known to have a tremendous global fan base. Just in the US alone, about 30% of households have horse enthusiasts, and about 2 million persons have horses of their own. Digital horse racing as a concept opens this exciting sport to even more fans as it significantly lowers the cost of entry while still allowing people to own their own virtual horses and enjoy all the excitement of horse racing. Equine is a racehorse management game that's enriched with imaginatively fun content, yet grounded in reality. It's an NFT-based platform that will run exclusively on the Cardano blockchain, where users can race, breed, and trade their horses. Equine will run exclusively on the Cardano blockchain, where horses can be bought, entered in competitive races, bred, and traded between the players. Please note that the Equine platform is in early stages of development, and all elements described in this document are subject to change upon technical and/or legal review. Equine. Equine is an NFT-based racehorse management game that gives people from all walks of life the opportunity to own and manage their own stables of horses, to experience the excitement of digital horse racing, and to breed their own digital horses. The platform is designed to include system mechanics which are simple to approach, yet are deep enough to remain entertaining. This is achieved through design inspired by the physical equivalent to digital horse racing and retains many of the entertaining aspects of the game, while avoiding many of the frustrations and challenges in conventional forms. As a platform which has been designed from the ground up with digital horse ownership in mind, Equine features many unique elements in its core value proposition. One such feature is the inclusion of aging as a mechanic which affects the growth and evolution of horses. This introduces a realistic element of watching horses grow and gradually unveil their potential, and adds novelty by adding an element of time to management of stables, in which champions can never forever remain dominant, and opportunities exist for every newcomer. Another unique feature is jockey NFTs, which add a level of strategic depth to racing, as different jockeys impact horses' mental performance differently, and enrich the equine world with a cast of original characters around which stories can be told and inspiration can be driven. As Equine was designed to be realistic in function, it was envisioned that purists would also love the game's visuals to be true to tradition. However, in an ever-evolving digital space abound with metaverses and digital avatars, Equine introduces a concept which balances both worlds. Horses remain as classic thoroughbreds. Jockeys remain as standard jockeys. However, they can be augmented with skin NFTs that let players pick from a wide range of cosmetic appearances for their horses and jockeys. From funny, whimsical, cute, fantasy, sci-fi, sleek, or just downright cool skins, players can truly express themselves through their horses and jockeys' appearances. True ownership of NFTs and secure yet decentralized transactions with smart contracts for horse racing and breeding are made possible by using the Cardano blockchain. An equine DApp is being developed to provide a convenient system for managing digital horse stables, raising champion horses, executing elaborate breeding programs, and trading with other horse owners. Equine has various native game elements which would allow players to play the game, customize their gaming experience, and interact with the Equine Games ecosystem, which tokens come in the form of non-fungible tokens, Equine NFTs, as more particularly described herein. The racehorses of Equine. Horse NFT is a digital representation of a horse required to participate in core game activities like racing and breeding. The racehorses in Equine are unique NFTs, each born with individual stats and features. They don't live forever. They grow, breed, become strong, and like good racehorses, they have their days of success and stardom, but will also age and retire. All equine horses are thoroughbreds that were born to race. This means that all of them have a place in the equine ecosystem, and even a seemingly weaker horse is still a racehorse that will have a fighting chance in the lower racing tiers. Or they could carry exciting genes that may create unique offspring. To participate in core game activities like racing and breeding, a minimum of one equine horse NFT is required. Each horse comes with a predetermined and unique pedigree name, which will come from a defined list of horse names, but we plan to allow players to give nicknames to their horses in the near future. Stats. All equine horses come with their unique set of physical and mental stats, which determine their performance. Stats are written into the horse DNA, but they are not fully visible from the start. Because they evolve as the horse grows, physical stats can be further enhanced with training, while mental stats are impacted by jockeys. Physical stats that are visible: you see the speed, which is the maximum speed when galloping; stamina, which is the amount of available energy; acceleration, which is how quickly a horse can increase its speed. You have endurance, the rate of stamina recovery; and agility, ability to handle adverse track conditions. And then the mental stats that are hidden are wisdom, which is the energy conservation, especially when you're ahead; the determination, which is the behavior when behind the pack; and the courage, which is the performance in the thick of the pack. Aging. Just like real-life horses, equine horses don't live forever. They'll grow and have their days of success and stardom, but they'll also age, retire, and maybe even be set aside for breeding or trading. Equines live for a total of 18 horse years, which are sped up to an equivalent of 18 real-time months. During this lifespan, horses will be eligible to race starting from their age of 2. And will be eligible to breed starting from the age of 3. It is up to the owners to decide when their horse races, breeds, or retires. The life cycle of an equine horse begins from birth. There is a slight exception for pioneer horses, which always begin their lives at 2 years old. Age 0 to 6 horse years marks the young phase for your equine, a time when your horse grows faster and its stats grow every year. Different horses grow at different speeds. Players can further reinforce the stats growth through training. While each equine starts with predetermined stats, it may not be immediately obvious if a horse will be middle of the pack or a true champion. Age 7 to 12 horse years is the adult phase. At this stage, the horse reaches full biological potential, and further growth may still be possible through focused training. This is the time that players would use all that they learned about their horses and the game to achieve their best in races, or maybe consider creating some offspring. After 12 horse years, the horse becomes a senior. Its biological stats start decaying, but it can still race, train, and breed. In the right races, it can still win if the cards are played right. At 18 horse years, all equine horses will die. While this is a sad fact of life, it doesn't mean that the owners will lose their NFT. When a horse dies, it will turn into a ghost. If the horse was a high achiever, it will turn into a commemorative statue instead, a type of trophy for their owners. Gender and breeding. Equine horses will have two genders that will be evenly split between the equine horses. Gender will not have an impact on the stats, as neither male nor female horses will be stronger or weaker simply because of their gender. They do, however, have an impact on breeding. More on this later. All equine racehorses are thoroughbreds with their own unique DNA. This determines their physical and mental stats, as well as coat and mane colors and markings. The breeding engine in equine will use medallion genetics for realistic outcomes from the breeding of two horses. Equine horse colors do not correlate to a certain stat or rarity, but as with any other trait, colors will have their own rarities, with some colors being much less common. Offspring will inherit some of the stats and looks from their parents. So if planned right, players may even manage to uncover rare or hidden recessive coat color genes which manage to stay hidden behind parents' DNA. Putting a horse to breed is a very important decision. Like real life, once horses start breeding, they cannot race anymore. So owners will need to think thoroughly before making this move. Training. Training will allow horse owners to further improve their horse stats by targeting specific stats they want to improve. This training is planned to be made easy for the players, where they would just need to pre-select their preferred training plan and then ensure to enter their horses into at least one race every month. This would allow players to provide their horses a training regimen with minimal time spent. However, those who dedicate more time strategizing may customize and adjust their training program to help their horses reach their full potential. While the training element will be less substantial than the impact of DNA, in a competitive realm, it is expected to be an important component for optimizers because it will allow horse owners to affect stat growth beyond biological potential, which could give them the edge they need. While realism is desired in our design, in the spirit of keeping things as fun as possible, equine horses don't fall sick nor get injured from races. The jockeys. Good pairs make great races. The synergy between a jockey and a horse is of paramount importance in horse racing. Jockey NFT is a digital representation of a jockey. It is an optional feature, and players can still play the game with a horse NFT, but without their own jockey NFT. The right jockey will know best how to handle their horse and how to motivate them to perform better. Before entering races, players will be able to choose from jockeys they own to best complement their horse's abilities. Jockeys act as a modifier to a horse's mental skills and could push a decent horse towards a legendary performance, or possibly hinder a legendary horse from winning. Personality types. Every equine jockey will have one of 6 personalities, each of which impacts specific mental stats of a horse. The jockey personality types are as follows. Wise. With years of racing comes experience and knowledge, which enhances a horse's wisdom. Determined. A jockey's resolve enhances a horse's determination. Brave. Nothing stops them. Their equine will have increased courage. Tempered. They are brave and clever, so they know how to encourage an equine's wisdom and courage to increase. Visionary. Always a few steps ahead and fully committed. Their horse will have increased wisdom and determination. Steadfast. Their unbreakable spirit slightly increases the courage and determination of the equine they're riding. Some jockey personality types enhance only one attribute, and some others enhance 2. However, the magnitude of total enhancement is equal. Those which enhance 2 attributes spread it evenly between the 2 attributes, instead of focusing the enhancement on one. Further, there are no stat or attribute differences between individual jockeys. Any jockey with a certain personality type will have exactly the same effect as another jockey with the same personality type. Jockeys are optional modifiers in the system, so whenever a player does not equip a jockey in their loadout, they will be assigned a balanced jockey with balanced stat modifiers. Skins. While each equine is unique, players can make their horses stand out even more with a range of fun and cool skins. Skin NFT is a wearable graphic audio modifier which allows players to modify the design of their horse NFT or jockey NFT. These will include themed or seasonal skins, which will be offered separately, or even won through competitions and giveaways. Limited edition skins are also planned to be released along the way. Jockeys, too, can get a cool makeover with some innovative skins, so a racing duo can be created to catch everybody's attention. Skins are designed to add fun to the experience, though they have no impact whatsoever on performance. But it is to be expected that some people prefer a pure horse racing experience. For this reason, the equine race viewer will allow all skin visuals to be switched off during the races by simply toggling an option. Skins are a separate NFT, so they can be sold or traded separately. They are not necessary to play the game and are more similar to traditional collectibles with different percentages of rarity. Skin NFTs are divided into 3 categories: horse skins, which change your horse into a different breed or species altogether, or even turn them into a magical creature; the jockey skins, which change up your jockey's looks into a completely different character; or deluxe skins. These special skins will change both horse and jockey to create a matching racing duo. The racing mechanics. Equines truly come alive on the racetrack. Races on equine are performed based on an original racing engine, which was built in detail to simulate race parameters and present the races so players can watch all of the thrills and spills of horse racing unfurl onto their screens when it is time to race. Pre-race. Using the Equine DApp, a player would be able to select a specific race they would want to compete in and display their horses which are eligible to race. Races will be split into tiers to ensure races are between similarly skilled horses. Higher tier horses will still be able to compete in lower tiers, but a handicap will be applied to them to keep races fair. After a horse and its relevant jockey and skin, both optional, loadouts are selected for a race, a player would select their gate and wait for the race to kick off. Mid-race. During a race, players will have front row seats to see how well their racing duo performs. The racing engine would take all of the variables into account, simulate the race, and display it for the viewing pleasure of participants. Post-race. After a race ends, winners would be eligible to receive their prizes. No matter the outcome, every race can help participants better understand their horse and jockey performance, which can help players build better strategies for future races. Racing simulation. The equine racing engine is the heart behind the main attraction, horse racing. This bespoke racing model takes all the available smart contract data, horses in a race, their physical and mental stats, their jockeys, track lengths, surface conditions, and so on, and builds a realistic run step by step, which is then played to the viewers. A working prototype has been developed and is being validated through millions of simulations to ensure all elements are properly balanced and offer fair and realistic outcomes to avoid, for example, all horses suddenly breaking world records. Racetracks. Different racetracks will be designed to offer a variety of conditions such as overall track length, shape, surface, field size, and so on. Track conditions will always take reference from existing physical racing tracks in their design and will offer a core element in the race simulation. Learning how horses perform in different track conditions will be a major part of racing activity. Race entry fees and earnings. Standard races will require an entry fee in ADA and will offer earnings in ADA. Races will be structured in different tiers, each with its own respective entry fee and prize levels. These tiers are separate from the defined horse performance class bracket and are primarily related to entry fee and prize payout ranges. Prize payouts will typically be derived from 90% of the combined entry fees, out of which the top 3 placing horses would win earnings. Typically, first place takes 60%, second place 25%, and third place 15% of the prize payouts. The remaining 10% of the entry fees will be used to fund the platform operation, maintenance, and development. Free races will not require any entry fee and will still offer winners prizes in ADA. Such free races will be hosted regularly, however, they will not compromise the majority of races held and will be less frequent than standard races. Other prize categories such as special skins or other NFTs can also be won during special events offered throughout the year. Gambling. Betting is not considered to be a part of the core equine platform at this stage. However, subject to regulatory considerations, development in this direction, internally or through third-party platforms, will always be under consideration. Breeding mechanics. Breeding horses. When the time is right, given that their horse is old enough, a player can decide to retire their equine horse from racing and use it to breed a new generation of racers. Taking a cue from real life, once a horse moves to breeding, it will not be able to race anymore. So this is a big strategic decision that a player should consider carefully before putting their horses to breed. Breeding cycles occur every month, during which a player can initiate the breeding process for a fee, and the owner of the mare will receive a brand new equine horse NFT as a result. All breeding sessions will result in the successful birth of a foal. Each mare, which are the female, will be able to breed once a month, and each stud, which are the males, will be able to cover multiple mares in a month. The monthly limit for studs will initially be set at 5 covers per month. However, this cooldown is subject to game balance considerations. Equine horses reach maturity at 6 years old, when all their physical stats reach their maximum DNA potential. So remember, that'll be at 6 months. While breeding is possible with horses that are at least 3 years old, if a player decides to move their horse to breeding between ages 3 to 6, all their physical stats will be updated to reflect their full revealed DNA stats as if they were 6 years old without increasing their age. At 3 months old, it will show you the full stats like it would at 6 months old because you won't be able to race it anymore. But if you are racing your horse, you don't see full stats until 6 months. Renting a stud. If a player owns a mare and a stud, they can do their breeding in-house. If a player only owns one gender in their stable, or if they want to breed with a specific horse, it will be possible for them to connect with other horse owners and create their dream couple. Players will have a choice to select a suitable mating pair of a mare and a stallion from their own horses, or if they happen to own a mare, will also have a choice to use the services of another player's stallion to breed. The owner of the mare, in such a circumstance, would pay the stallion owner their set stud fees for the service, and the owner of the mare would keep the offspring. Once a stud is selected, payment and breeding will happen through the smart contract. From here, the new horse NFT is generated and sent to the wallet where the mare sits. Mare is female. Genetics of breeding. The offspring will inherit genes from its parents and the parents before them. This will usually result in a mixture of traits similar to its parents, but there may also be instances where a foal can go beyond the parent's capabilities, thanks to a legendary trait from its grandparents. Our breeding engine will utilize Mendelian genetics for realistic outcomes of the breeding of two horses. Our horse's DNA includes all of the information about stats, colors, and markings, so good planning can lead to superior horses, i.e., the outcome of mating two parents is likely to match expected inherited characteristics. However, the parents could also pass down a different performing pair of DNA, just like in real life. This also applies to horse colors. Some colors are hidden in recessive genes, so they will not appear in any of the parents. But if the right mating happens, someone can discover this new color. The effects of training will not be passed down through breeding. Of course, horses created from breeding are for their owners to keep, race, train, or trade. Breeding cost. As the outcome of the breeding activity is new equine horse NFTs, which will be eligible to participate in the ecosystem, one key concern for balance would be the population size. Unsustainable growth would result in a risk to the platform's longevity, and as such, there is a requirement for mechanisms to maintain balance in the population growth and development of quality over quantity in breeding programs. One such factor will be system breeding fees, which are meant to support the platform's ability to scale up its growth along with the growth of the equine horse population. The setting of breeding fees will be subject to game balance considerations. However, it is not meant to deter breeders from performing the activity within reason, i.e., breeding fees are in principle not designed to be comparable to the usual reasonable value of an average equine horse NFT. Another factor will be breeding cooldowns, effectively with mares only being able to foal once per month, equivalent to 1 horse year, and stallions only being able to cover a limited number of mares per month. One more factor will be the breeding age range limitation, and the only way nature of the switch of a horse from a racing career to a breeding career. The only other potential breeding costs would be stud service fees to stallion owners offering their service, if such a service is required by the breeder. Trading. Every equine NFT, whether it be a horse NFT, a jockey NFT, or a skin NFT, belongs to its owner and can be traded or sold on existing marketplaces at the owner's discretion. NFT policy. Equine Pioneer horse NFTs will have an open, never locking policy to allow access to updates and evolution. Other equine NFTs will have locking policies as necessary and as per recommended practice. All equine NFTs will include 2.5% royalties on aftermarket sales in their policy identifier, to be applicable in NFT marketplaces which support creator royalties. Each NFT type will have a separate policy ID and will be verified on all major Cardano NFT marketplaces. Equine NFT Marketplace. Later in development, a dedicated equine NFT marketplace is planned to be introduced and will be designed to optimize for the specific experience of trading horses and other relevant items. This would allow more fun parts of the racehorse ownership experience to be replicated, such as hosting yearly auctions for breeders and so on. The Equine DApp. A major part of Equine is the intended utility the whole series is built around. To achieve this utility, a dedicated Equine DApp is being developed with the purpose of offering participants a one-stop shop for all of the relevant activities in the game, managing stables, entering into races and viewing them, breeding, and so on. This platform is planned to be made as widely compatible as possible. At this stage, optimization is for the DApp to be browser and mobile friendly, as that is where a majority of potential growth of the equine player base resides. The DApp would consist of the front end, off-chain and with some optional on-chain interactions, primarily linked to minting. The back end, the actual engines for racing and breeding, and last but not least, the smart contracts which bind the player interactions with the activities they partake in. Safety and security of transactions will be a core requirement in development, and the smart contracts governing all of the transactions will be tested, reviewed, and audited as necessary to ensure compliance with the required level of security. The Equine team. The founders. Fahad A., CEO. A lifelong gamer with a focus on competitive games and community building, and a background enriched with diverse creative experience and an engineering education, and more recently, a strong dedication to NFTs both as a collector and a believer in the technology and its potential. He oversees all elements of the project with a keen interest in game design, creative direction, and unlocking the future vision of this project. Nick A., CTO, a physicist who has been working as a scientific software developer for over 8 years. Nick was part of the first cohort of the Plutus Pioneer program for smart contracts development and has been operating vending systems since April 2021 for multiple projects. He leads all of the technology and R&D aspects of the project. Merrick F., the CMO. Merrick F., he is the CMO. Merrick has over 16 years of marketing consulting experience for global companies, most recently focusing on the gaming and technology sector. He has been involved in the Cardano NFT community since the original SpaceBuds launch and has experience with launching CNFT projects. He is primarily in charge of marketing, planning, and strategy. Zach C., the chief advisor. Zach is the horse expert of the team, a true horse lover who has been working with horses for more than 20 years, with all of the experience that comes along with it. He also joined Cardano NFTs from the very beginning when SpaceBuds launched. He brings to the table a realistic view of the physical parallel to virtual racehorse ownership. The Equine Creative Team. Since this proposal started in July, we have been lucky to work with an amazing group of people who work tirelessly to bring our vision to life, including 2 concept artists, 8 3D artists, 2 3D animators, 1 music composer, 2 creative writers, 2 website designers, and 2 software developers. We are proud of this creative team's success in producing the art of the Equine Pioneer Collection and look forward to executing our vision for the development and production of future content. In the near future, our growth will focus on the software development and game dev aspects to ensure that the project can achieve the established targets. The Equine Roadmap. Q3 2021, Initial Development, Establishing the idea and general concept of equine, Identifying art team and start of asset creation. Q4 2021, Pioneer NFT sale, NFT assets creation and sale, racing and breeding engine prototype development. Q1 2022, platform development, racing and breeding engine testing and optimization, DApp creation, racing visualization and development, or racing visualization development. Q2 2022, beta testing, continuous development of the platforms, closed beta testing of the platform. Q3 2022, equine platform launch, racing and breeding goes live for everyone. Exploration of additional ecosystem elements like play-to-earn gaming and marketplace. Q4 2022, further development. Further development, necessary improvements, and additional functionality. The Equine Roadmap is intended as a guideline for milestones of development phases and is not meant to be comprehensive of all activities nor conclusive. The Equine Pioneer Collection. The Equine Pioneer Collection is the first equine NFT collection to be made available. The collection has been designed to kickstart the equine platform with an initial base of NFTs in the hands of an early group of participants, and is a production comprised of a series of NFTs, which include artwork of our original cast of characters and skins. In addition to horse NFTs, which are designed to be the main component of the equine platform, each with their unique combination of appearance, stats, and DNA. Pioneer Collection Sale. The Pioneer Collection Sale will commence on December 18th, 0:01 a.m. UTC, during which Pioneer bundles will be on sale for 250 ADA each. Every bundle will include one Pioneer horse NFT, one jockey NFT, and one skin NFT. All 3 NFTs will be completely random, and each may have different rarity within a single bundle. This sale will last for 24 hours, subject to a minimum of 5K bundles being sold within the 24 hours. In case this minimum sale target is not reached, the sale will extend until 5K bundles are sold. Each horse NFT will be fully unique with different combinations of stats and visualization. Jockeys and skins, by nature of their art creation, have not been designed as one-of-ones, and therefore will have repeats of the same art and utility, but will remain as NFTs, each with its own unique serial identifier. Rarity within the open volume mint will scale up or down based on the total volume minted. The rarity structure will be based on buckets of 10K, so if 10K bundles are minted, at least one of each possible jockey or skin variation in the collection will have been minted. Following this, every 10K should be a shuffled version of the same rarity, distribution for jockey, and skin NFTs. Horse NFTs, as mentioned earlier, will remain unique beyond the 10K volume. The specific NFTs received by each buyer will be unveiled at time of mint, so buyers will be able to see what they've received as soon as the NFTs arrive in their wallet. This is an open sale, which means that everyone who wants to participate in the Equine Pioneer Collection sale will be able to buy as many bundles as they want. Equine is a game project with NFTs for utility. For this reason, the drop was designed to promote inclusivity instead of exclusivity. As the sale is programmed to be open for at least 24 hours, it is not anticipated to generate extreme traffic on the blockchain, and all Cardano dedicated wallets are expected to perform adequately. Examples of supported wallets are IOHK officially endorsed Daedalus and Yoroi, or third-party wallets such as CC Vault, now known as Eternal, Nami, Adalite, and Typhoon. Most importantly, ensure to never attempt to purchase NFTs by sending ADA from an exchange. Exchange wallets do not support NFTs, so transactions would fail. Pioneer horses. Pioneer horses are unique when compared to their non-pioneer counterparts in several ways. Pioneer horses only start aging when they are activated in the game. This means that owners can keep their Pioneer horses until they are ready to use them on the platform. Pioneer horses start at the age of 2 years old, which means that they are ready to race the moment they are activated. When a pioneer horse dies, it will, like non-pioneer horses, turn into a ghost or commemorative statue. However, the owner will also receive a second token, which can be used to redeem a completely new pioneer horse for a nominal fee of 20 ADA. This token will also be an NFT, therefore it can also be sold or traded with someone else. Pioneer horses will not have any advantage over non-pioneers with regards to stats and will not provide a competitive advantage. The team does not plan to mint horses beyond the pioneer drop, as it expects that the community will breed new horses to meet the growing demand when the game begins, except in the circumstance that demand becomes critically higher than supply, and breeders on the platform are unable to close the gap between demand and supply of horses to the extent that growth is curtailed. Pioneer Jockeys. The Pioneer Collection includes 10 original jockey characters, each available in 6 possible personality types, making up a total of 60 different possible combinations. Cornelius. Not much is known about Cornelius. He is not a man of many words or facial expressions, but one thing we do know is that he loves his horses. Around here, we call him the Equine Whisperer, as he connects with horses like no mere mortal can. This almost supernatural ability has helped him lead all kinds of horses, from the most aggressive to the most timid, to victory. Faye. As a young girl growing up in Hong Kong, Faye enjoyed spending Sundays at the races with her father. While he was busy cheering with the crowd, she'd be mesmerized by the sights and sounds of the track. It was oddly peaceful for her. Till this very day, she still finds peace at the racetrack in guiding her horses for the win, where blissful tranquility awaits upon victory. Guerrero. If you met Guerrero outside of horse racing, you would meet a quiet, reserved man who shied away from the limelight. On the racetrack, you wouldn't recognize him. He's a superstar on the tracks. His presence is so dizzyingly massive, it crushes his opponent's confidence and snatches the victory away from them. So if you were to cross paths with Guerrero, pray it is not on the tracks. Jules. Jules never listens. They didn't listen when people said ponies are for girls. They didn't listen when people said horse racing is a manly sport. And they definitely didn't listen when people said this horse thing is just a phase. Jules blocked out all of the noise, raced, and then raced some more until they became one of the top jockeys in the world, because the only voice they had to listen to was the one in their heart. Malik. As a graduate of the School of Hard Knocks, Malik doesn't go down easy. He is a fighter who just keeps on fighting, even if all odds are against him. Even if he lost a leg, which he did 10 years ago. But despite losing a leg, he never lost his resolve. Today, he is one of the toughest, strongest, most competitive jockeys in the world, with so many wins we've lost count. River. River's personality is as fluid as a, river. Some days they're a brash brute. Other days they identify as a sophisticated socialite. They even once described themselves as an ethereal elk, whatever that means. Despite the multiple identities they personify throughout the day, one identity is constant every day: jubilant jockey, especially true after a victory at the tracks. Rocky. While Rocky may be small in stature, nobody ever looks down on him. You couldn't even if you wanted to. He's one of the best jockeys in the world, and it's largely due to his petite frame that just fits perfectly on any horse. If you pick him, you could win, but if you pick on him, you're definitely a loser. Lizzie. People call her privileged, but they couldn't be further from the truth. Sure, her family is wealthy and they live on a 100-acre horse farm. But Lizzie worked every single day here, cleaning the stable and riding gear, as well as grooming, feeding, and riding the horses. When she got into jockeying, she started from the very bottom and worked until she got to the top, and she'll never stop moving up because her greatest privilege is being able to make herself better every day. Yukio. Legend has it that Yukio's hair turned from jet black to ash white when his girlfriend left him. Heartbroken, he turned to horse racing for comfort. It mended his heart, strengthened his spirit, and fulfilled his soul. Throughout the years, he has won many races, but it does not compare to the amount of hearts he's won with his boyish good looks. Anara. Even as a young girl, Anara was never bound by social rules. She climbed trees and played football with the boys. She went to art school instead of law school, and when her parents attempted to arrange her marriage, she hopped on a horse and rode her way to a new life. She is a woman who takes life by the reins, steers it in the direction she wants it to go, and only stops when she has reached the finish line. Pioneer Skins. Pioneer Skins are the first collection of skins to be released for the equine platform. They represent a broad variety of horse skins, jockey skins, and deluxe skins. This collection was designed to include a range of skins which showcase the diversity of the skin system and mechanic, while adding a fun collectible element, as is now a standard expectation in contemporary online gaming. Pioneer Collection skins are broadly categorized as realistic horse skins, fantasy horse skins, jockey skins, and deluxe skins. Thank you for your interest. All right, y'all, thank you for being here. That was the whole white paper. The legal disclaimer and the risks are in a separate video that you will see other than this. I wanted to keep it separated because it would be way too long to be together. So if you want to hear all of the legal aspects that is in this white paper, please go check out the other video. This one covering all from the introduction down to the Equine Pioneer Collection. I appreciate y'all being here. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified when we upload more content. Please share it so more people get to hear and read about these white papers, get to hear about the projects that we cover. And thank you for being here. We just appreciate the support and love y'all.